Hello everyone, my name is Matthew here at Crestman. We're doing a self-graded card review of a Michael Jordan insert from the 1997-1998 Upper Deck 3 set that is the insert for the big picture. And we've already ran it through Grok. We have our assessments. Already graded this card once, and this is going to probably result in a similar grade as the one before. I really want to get this card graded at a high grade, and it's hard to get there. It is hard to get there on this card. But before we get into the grades, disclaimer, all videos, all articles, all postings, essentially the grades are my best assessment. They are not guaranteed to cross over to other grading companies. They're not guaranteed to increase or decrease the monetary value of the card. These, whenever you look at some of the Grok language, there is no like professional grading service. It's just acting as the AI agent act as someone that works in one of these places. They are not a representative of these organizations. I have a deep respect for those that do this day in and day out full time and are not only they're assessing, they're probably being assessed almost on every step of the way. I have an AI agent that's on Twitter/X that I cross-reference with. It's named Grok. And what's interesting is it keeps me honest, but I also keep it honest. So anyways, this is an insert card. It is a acetate. It has some translucence to it. And to be able just to get this card on camera without looking awkward, the iPad that I have that you've seen in almost all videos, just to get this photo, this shot right here. It's interesting. What's underneath is so this is an acetate, and underneath it is a hologram card, a Michael Jordan hologram card from Upper Deck in early 90s. And it actually has a decent effect to showing the player, Michael Jordan, in this card here. But with acetates, you see right through it. So you just see this like big Apple logo. It's like a dark logo. When I don't have this effect, I put like white paper behind it. It kind of does a little something. What's actually interesting is the hologram's doing like a double layered effect to this. You can actually see parts of Jordan right here. Anyways, that's where we're at. We're having fun. We're doing card graded videos on YouTube. You'll kind of see this also in the blog post. And then go to the Crescent Vale on eBay, check out all the cards. It usually takes me like a day or two after I do a video to do the custom label, do the blog post, get the eBay listing up. So, if you watch this and you go and check out the eBay page, sometimes it's like, well, where is the video I just watched of this card? If you just give it a day or two, it'll pop up. Anyways, what's really interesting right now is the Oklahoma City, San Antonio Spurs game. San Antonio started off at 15-0, so they scored 15 points. Oklahoma City had scored 0, almost creating a new record. I think it was like 16 points. If they had just scored one more 2-point basket, they would have the record for like most points with unanswered points from the competitor. So, just San Antonio, they did that in game one. It was just, I think, 12, almost 12-0, 10-0. Just crazy numbers to start the game. And then now we're at last time I checked, it's obviously changed, but last time I checked it was 39-39. So who knows who's going to win this series? It is feast or famine at times, and then it's just dead even at times. The jersey pulling is crazy on both sides. My dog just hit the camera, the tripod. She's just a long haired Chihuahua. But yeah, the jersey pulling on both sides. If you're a fan of one of the other, I am a fan of basketball in general. Really, Michael Jordan primarily is really, you can tell by all the graded cards of Michael Jordan. We just did a LeBron card, so I like some other players, but it's really this like kind of group that has liquidity to them and that could sell easier. And there's times where the young, new, hot players, they have huge liquidity, but then they cool off and they might not get 6 championships. Not throwing shade on anybody, but it's going to be difficult to ever get 6 championships, 2 3-peats. The feats that Jordan did, it's just going to be tough for anybody to get there in the modern basketball. The amount of injuries, the amount of trades, the amount of money, the amount of just things at stake, it is going to be hard to replicate the man's success. Now you can you can break those records. But to have like a team kind of come together to 2 different three-peats, If somebody wants to do 2 4-peats, I'll tip the hat and say they might have one up on Jordan. So I hope somebody does 2 or 3 or 5 peats, but just the how much, like, effort it takes, the body breaking down, it is probably very difficult. So hats off to the new generation for getting out there and getting to it. It's fun when you watch this Oklahoma City San Antonio Spur game. It is entertaining. My goodness, the defense, just the amount of effort going into it. Wow. Anyways, there's a lot to talk about the current basketball, but we're here to kind of talk through the sports card of the one we have right here. You got to see that hologram effect underneath now. And maybe the acetate should do something like this, is have some kind of way to do a hologram effect underneath the acetate. Who knows what kind of things Topps will come up with in the future. I just like that look. I like a look of an acetate. I like, obviously, Jordan cards. But, yeah. So what does Grok say here? Grok saying centering is an 8.5 or a 9. This is the 152nd card that we've graded. 152nd card. We're doing centering, edges, corners, surface, and then a total. Sometimes I just like seeing the players in the background. Just look at him watching MJ. See Stockton? He's like walking in that. And the big man's kind of running after him. But look at the 3 back there. That's who MJ is going to pick. And I get that some people, my buddy Teddy's a big LeBron fan. He's like the athletic. I can't talk. The athleticism. I got it right that time. Those guys are just standing in that background right now. Like, Stockton's not even trying on the left. I don't know if that's Byron Scott on the right. I'm not sure who that man is. Oyster Tag. I can't remember who the center was. They're not trying very hard. This is June 97. That's the finals. You can see the final emblem on the right there. And look at him. The amount of effort in today's game is much different. And maybe you could say an argument like, well, Jordan had it easy. Look at those 3 men back there barely moving. Slightly offended right now. Slightly offended. Centering. Centering on this card is on the difficult end. Because you kind of see here the amount of space at the bottom is difficult to be able to quantify. Now, left to right is even also hard to quantify. What I've actually done is, see if that's debris. Yeah. I've cross-referenced this card. And the amount, like, I would just like there to be a healthy amount of room at the top that I can measure down to the bottom and measure, like, from the D on the Jordan, that's distance, to probably the upper deck logo, the K in upper deck, and space from up to there to the top. I would say that that's a little discrepancy. Whenever I looked at the space from this right border to the edge of the card, that is pretty on point with what I've seen for 9.5s. The distance from that 45, which is kind of an interesting number to give a card for MJ. The distance there to the logo there. So it's in between a 9 and a 9.5 for me. What does Grok say? Grok says centering 8.5 to 9. And, I'm going to go 9.5. Now, there is a spot on the back of the surface. We'll just go ahead and show it to you right there. And that, I am fairly certain that is a defect. Something happened along either the shipping of the card, like whenever it was being produced. Something that's, on the error side. So the surface is like an 8, maybe 7.5. I could say 7.5 on surface. So right now we're at 8.5. I think that's pretty accurate. I was looking at a corner earlier. Was Grok give it? A 7 to an 8 on the corners. I just wonder if that is a piece of debris or if that's actually part of the card. That is part of the card. So what does Grok give the corners? In between a 7 and 8. Let's go 8 on the corners. So right now we're between an 8 and an 8.5. And the edges will be a determining factor if we feel that these edges are an 8 or an 8.5. And I think they're a 9, so we're going to probably end up on an 8.5 for a total. And to be honest, I think that is where I land for this card. 8.5 is good. Not bad. 8.5 is great. I would really like a 10. I would really love a 10 of this card because I really like the acetate. I really like this card. Second time grading it. I think the first time we got 8.5. Second time we're hitting 8.5 again. And that's completely understandable. But you kind of see a little bit like, if you're ever doing acetate cards, try to think of creative ways to showcase them. But anyways, let's anything else real interesting about this card? The print run from the big picture is it's not the base set. These were premium inserts with holographic technology, not ultra low print, but the scarcer than the base cards. So what's interesting, this 1998, 1997, 1998 Upper Deck 3, the inserts there are more rare. So, you know, whenever people are collecting these Jordan inserts, they have more rarity than the base. So you have that. Now, obviously, having something that's serial numbered at a low amount is going to have more scarcity, rarity. For PSA population, several hundred were graded. PSA 9s and 10s exist, but limited. Recent comps kind of show that like PSA 9s 150 to 250, PSA 10s $400 plus. The PSA 8, since we're between an 8 and a 9, it's in between $60 and $250. With this being an 8.5, I'm probably going to like list it at about $50 on our eBay channel. Pivotal moment in the 1997 NBA Finals, MJ's legendary performance against the Jazz. Upper Deck UD3 set was known for innovative inserts like holographic series and late 90s premium boom. Pairs well with the other MJ cards, SPX and Skybox Premium. Interesting stuff there, yeah. So yeah, overall, it estimated out in between a 7 and 8. We ended up with an 8.5. I think that's pretty accurate. And you know what? I just love this card so much. It'll be up on the eBay page. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch. Have a great day.